when the trumpet of the Lord shall
Day 38 of 45. I love my Starbucks at 38th in Guadalupe. 38 on 30. The baristas are never late. They know my name. One medium dark roast bold coffee every morning before radiation. Gets the room in going. The brain firing. My soul floating. Then off to hop on the tray, pull down my pants, and get hit by the cosmic rays. Rollin.
Yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there.
Good morning, Cottrell. This is Castration of a Cowboy,
Good morning.
episode 38 of 45, entitled Rolling.
Rolling, 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 keep them doggies rolling, roll high.
Hey, that's good. You did see Clint Eastwood doing in the 1960s Rawhide.
Oh, is that how that goes?
I don't know anything about it, Cottrell. You know, my Western history is challenged at best. I knew this show called Branded, and it was about a military guy, and they took his sword and they broke it, and they sent him off into the West to fight evil. You know, but everybody
Yeah,
said he was branded.
yeah.
But that's it.
Vaguely remember that.
That's the totality of my. You know, the whole thing about that Western thing is it's just culturally made no sense in the hills of Western North Carolina. I mean, you remember riding horses up there on the Biltmore Estate. We couldn't go 10 yards before you had to, go up a hill or down. There's just no plains. There's no prairie.
I'm from Ohio. We had plains. It was
Did you have
flat,
cowboys?
flat. No, we had tornadoes.
Tornadoes. Okay.
That was exciting.
Hey, Cottrell, we decided yesterday was a little bit boring. What do you think? We're kind of into the routine. We're just like,
Look, you made him nervous.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we owe the listeners a little something more than just our dribble. I mean, I think, got to show some insight, got to be creative, got to be funny. And, if it comes down to, all we have to add is your butthole's not burning.
I think that's good information.
Well, yeah, I guess. But, I'm just putting it up there, guys. Y'all can tell me we're right where we need to be.
Seeing what sticks. Hey, Cottrell, how did your morning go today?
Well, they gave me literature post recovery. In the doctor visit, which was 2 pages, and it was pretty insightful. It's some good notations. One of them is I can go back on my multiple vitamins. They pulled me off multiple vitamins. They said that you want to really stay close to your dentist, like get a checkup about every 3 months, because losing your teeth is part of the fallout process.
No pun intended. Your teeth fall out.
Yeah, and it usually takes 2 months to recover fully, where you have your energy level back. So I'm on the home stretch. 38. I'm on the home stretch.
Does that feel good?
Yeah, to free me up. I've been captive of the morning routine, getting up at a certain time, taking a poop at a certain time, drinking water at a certain time, and these basic physical functions, and then it's tied me down here to Austin. I can't do any traveling, so that's been the most vexing part of it.
But the thing that I think at day 38 of 45 that we're seeing is the physicality of this experience is not extreme. You have to admit, this has not been, I thought this was going to be like chemotherapy, where it was just going to knock you on your ass and you weren't going to get back up. But this is something different.
Correct. I think they've fine-tuned it and they've learned so much about how to do it. And I have some, young 30-year-old doctor Yeah, I mean, you can just see his mind working. He gets in and he's pulling up these 3D pictures of your prostate, and you can see your little hip bones and sockets. And then he rotates it and spins it, and he says, "Man, this looks good." Like they're getting exactly where they want to hit.
This so Kelly, today was Thursday, so today was
doctor visit
day. Can you as a layperson tell any difference between the 3D graphics that he's sharing with you today as you could, 38 days ago? I mean, does it make more
No,
sense to me? Yeah, it's like looking at a sonogram of a baby. You just see a blob and everybody goes, look at the penis, and you don't know what the hell they're talking about.
yeah, I mean, you don't want. They have a book there, like it's a 150-page book, and 100 questions and answers about the process.
Oh.
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm sure the poop is in there, and I'm sure my situation is just like everybody else's, and they do aggregate. It's acreage. It's not a little plot here they're dealing with. They're dealing with a field of men that have prostate cancer.
Can we quickly go through the math to figure out how many men in America, just America alone, are going through this? I mean, there's 350 million people in the United States. Half of them are, male, of which that, we could divide all that by what's the average age to live in 75 these days. Take that number. Go ahead.
I'll take a stab at that.
Yeah, go.
I would say that there's a total base population of 25 million. Okay. Males over age 60 that are now in their prostate cancer years. Okay. And we know that 1 out of 9 is going to get prostate cancer. Okay. And so that is 2 million people. Okay. Then at any one point in time in America, there's probably 50,000 men that are plugged up to an oncologist and a urologist, and they're getting treated. Okay. And then you break it down further. This is a 2-month process. So every morning there's about 10,000 men like me that are going in for radiation. Okay. And going through this. So that would be the population that we're dealing with. Yeah.
I have a stat because I have Google.
PhD
and it said
in Google.
This year an estimated 268,490 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer.
200, a quarter of a million?
Yep.
Quarter of a million will be
Yeah.
But it says, oh, I got another one here. Hold on. In 2019, there were an estimated 3,253,416 men living with prostate cancer in the United States. That was in 19.
1%.
1%, which is a lot.
Well, it's actually 2% because half of those people are women.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's 2%. But Cottrell, the truth.
But at any one time, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a factor, and then also there's the ones where it's too late,
or that just didn't even get the diagnosis.
Right.
You got it, but you die of a heart attack, diabetes, syphilis. I don't know. I mean, automobile accidents is a big killer. I think the top 5 are cancer, heart disease, automobile crashes. Pretty much an other is my check. Yeah. Hey, but Cottrell, what do you think's happening in Papua New Guinea? That is this disease really is this an affluent country's disease, so that you have to first have the privilege to live past 70, and in these third world countries or these more primitive countries, the average age of dying is 60, and so most folks don't. It is actually the gift of living in first world country that now prostate cancer's getting you.
I agree. I think it's industrialized countries that have wealth, that have medical systems, etc. The people have it. That it's just never diagnosed, and they die of something.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, I'm serious about this dentist thing. My dad had lung cancer, and the first indication that something, now this was before he got radiation or chemotherapy, his teeth fell out. The cancer was eating him up so bad that his teeth just got completely loose and completely wobbly. So I agree with the doctor's literature there. You need to keep a real good eye on, how your teeth doing. They're an indicator.
Correct.
Correct. Prostate cancer is actually, we are on the low side of, the United States is not on the high end of in the world of incidence of prostate cancer. Yeah.
Yeah. Who gets it the most?
Brazil, then Chile, then Argentina, then Colombia, Spain, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Mexico, and then Venezuela.
South America.
Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
Latinos.
I wonder if that is geography, the weather, the temperature, the lifestyle, culture, or if it's actually genetics.
It says it's hereditary prostate cancer is percentage.
Are all those people down there Spaniards, or are they native South Americans? Like, did they come from the Aztec Indian lineage, or are they in Brazil and Colombia? Did the Spaniards come and populate that crowd?
It's mainly indigenous. Okay. The majority of the bloodline is indigenous Indian.
Okay. Yeah. And so whatever they got the short end of the prostate stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these
there
are
you go.
Inquiring minds
want
to know.
Hey, I have a quick question. I want to go back to the literature you got today. What was the most interesting thing that you read in that 2-page literature?
He's pulling out. We could have graphics here. We could put this up as a graphic if we had an intern.
Yeah, we could. I can take a picture of it and send it to you. It was the best one I've gotten yet.
Nice.
Wait.
I got a drum roll. Hold on. Going live. Okay, here we go.
PSA.
Go ahead.
I mean, they're dogging the PSA.
Is that public service announcement, or is that something else?
That's something to do with your prostate.
Oh, okay.
And that's how they dog it. And every time you go into the doctor, they're going to be pulling the PSA. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to, be the make or break deal.
Okay. Did yours go down? Is yours going down?
We don't know.
Shit.
It is going to be 1 month before I get the first PSA test. Okay. So it will be like the middle of May.
But we agree you were up at 7 or 12. What'd you go up to?
7.
And your buddy had 100.
Yes.
Wow,
he's fucked.
Yeah. He's so screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he tap out or did he finish? Or what'd they do with a hundo PSA?
Well, he capped out, and you'll find out in a month.
I wonder if they gave him I bet they gave him a shit ton of radiation.
Oh, they dialed. They just
yanked that dial up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never had any side effects. He's a tough little booger.
Little booger.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so PSA.
Okay, so that was the most interesting piece of information that you got today.
Would you
That
drink?
and going back on vitamins
I think the
and
teeth thing.
bone health.
Drinking
They
milk?
want you
Do you drink milk?
yeah,
You drink a lot of
they
milk?
want you, yeah, they want you to juice up on calcium supplements. They want you to take vitamin D
Shit,
supplements.
they just want you to shove back
Uh,
in everything they chased off.
yeah, they, not more than 2 drinks of booze a day. Uh,
That's not going to
Ooh,
work for us.
I hope we don't get that.
That is not going to work for us.
yeah,
You know what?
fatigue after cancer therapy. It takes 2 months to heal. You
Mm-hmm.
because I guess it takes that long, for your body to heal
Process through the
itself.
radiation.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I do believe, and I could be wrong, and this could be an old fact, and I think my dad told me so. Sometimes he gets a little make-uppy on his stuff, but I do believe that the United States is leading in osteoporosis. Osteoporosis, that was called. And due to the lack of calcium in our milk. I think they strip all the calcium and stuff out of our milk. And so trying to get calcium from milk is not a good source here in the United States of
But
America.
Uncle Leonard's good for about a half a gallon a day.
Oh, he drinks so much
That
milk.
guy's a
Oh, really?
milk drinkingest guy I
couldn't believe
I don't
it.
even know how he gets it down. And it ain't even chocolate milk. It's straight up whole. It ain't even 2% milk. It is straight whole gallon milk, white, in a white container that will take 1,500 years to break down that milk
Kacho,
jug.
do you drink whole milk or do you do like 2%?
No, Mary is a hook, line, and sinker vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
And she got me on these initially. She said, "Man, this almond milk is good. This rice milk is good. This and it's not milk; it's juice.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, that's wrong.
They just
to
squeeze
say
the
milk
almonds and that's what you get.
They milk
and
the
it's
almonds.
horrible tasting. I haven't found one
How
that
about
tastes good.
coconut milk?
I like coconut milk.
Do you like coconut milk?
No,
We drink
no.
it
I
really,
like
really, really cold when
cow's
we're
milk.
really, really, really thirsty, and that's about as well as we can do.
We don't drink.
Oh yeah, coconut milk. I think but I don't call it milk. I call it juice.
Coconut juice. Yep. Because when
Yeah.
you slice that coconut open, there is no cow inside. It's just
No
coconut.
cow at all.
Hey, Cottrell, did we tell you we're raising key limes and oranges? They're going to be perfect when you get down here after your
In a pot.
the tree's
Container?
6 feet tall, but it's in a pot because little known fact out down here in the Keys, the soil and the amount of salt water that's in that soil is just terrible for trees. So you have to
For fruiting trees.
for fruit trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I concur. But anyway, when you get down here, we're gonna have you we'll pluck an orange and make you orange juice, Florida orange juice.
Our key limes are killing it right now.
Yeah, key limes are strong. Do you like key lime pie?
Do you have them in direct sunlight?
Yeah,
Yes.
lots of sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a secret, and then laying the water to it. Our phone bill, our water
They keep
bill
calling
went from
people overseas.
$99 a month to $149 a month solely on watering 2 trees that are going to produce somewhere between 20 and 50 oranges per year.
Those are expensive oranges.
Yeah, I'd say a little pricey for the oranges, but it does help a lot when you're, by the pool and you're singing, put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. And you actually put the lime in the lime you raised and we have coconut trees. So the whole experience. But anyway, that we digressed. Cottrell. So this fella here, David Coggins, have you ever heard of him? He's a Marine. I'll say this is what I'll tell you who he is. David Coggins is a retired Navy SEAL and the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces ever to complete SEAL training. Coggins had competed in more than 60 ultramarathons, triathlons, ultra triathlons, setting course records and regularly placing in the top 5. He has the Guinness World Record holder for completing 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. He's a public speaker and people like him.
Wait, how is he the only one to ever complete SEAL training.
He was in the Army and completed Navy SEAL training.
I got you.
I have no idea why they allowed that crossover, but I actually think it makes sense. Anyway, in this book, in Can't Hurt Me, he shares his astonishing life story and reveals that most of us tap into only 40% of our capabilities. Coggin calls this the 40% rule, and his story illuminates a path that anyone can follow to push past pain, demolish fear, and reach their full potential. And that's a big windup to, when you got into this, were you bringing your full self to it? Did you bring optimism? Were you positive? Do you feel like you were at 100%, or were you succumbing to the Coggins 40% rule?
I think his name is Goggins.
What?
Yeah, I think you probably begin at 10% and then you work on up and you keep hammering away at it. And you get it on up above 40 and you keep on pushing.
Yeah. Do you think that the other 9 men that you're in your tranche are bringing their 100% effort or their 90% effort, or are they just idling in there at 5%, doing what they're
idling?
Mm-hmm.
This is just another shitty thing that happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you go through the motions with the doctor, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. I've lived a really fluffy life, cushy, fluffy life, and actually have never had any hardship at all that I can remember. But when I do hit a little bump in the road, just a little, I always kind of look at it and go, what is it I'm supposed to learn? What is it I'm supposed to take away from this to kind of improve my journey going forward?
Mm-hmm.
And, and I don't know if it works or not. It's just what I do, and so, if you go through this bump, this is a pretty significant little pothole you've hit here. What's the learnings? What's the takeaway? What's the new insight that has, come to front of mind that you think, for the next 10, 15, 20 years you got on this planet, what are you going to do different?
Probably nothing. What I think, the whole thing that was happening, that, and I was looking at my peer group, okay? And I'm talking primarily with the people I was seeing at Central Market and dancing with, okay? There was categorically, it didn't seem like there was anybody was screwed, okay?
Mm.
And these women would cohabitate with men, and they would say, okay, the first thing I want to see is your financial statement. And then I want you to understand there's going to be no sex. Okay. And these men were lining up and they were signing up for that,
And they need good
going
health
into
insurance.
a relationship with no sex. And so I really saw this as my peer group, the women had already dried up pretty well,
I wonder what age that happens.
Then, it makes me more attractive to them because, they realize that there's not even any pheromones there's not even a smell, there's just, there's nothing. Okay. And they like that. So there you go.
I don't want to be.
I think it's just life at 70.
Okay, but let's
what happens to you.
Let's go back to this just a little bit, because
we're gonna dive into this.
Yeah, I need to see how this fits into nature. Okay, we're all familiar with the silver hair on his back baboon. He is the old motherfucker that nobody messes with.
Mm-hmm.
Then down here in Key West, we got iguanas, and they're big and they're orange and they're just.
That's how you know they're horny.
You know that they are the stud baby muffins. I mean, they are stud baby horses. They are. Yeah. Well, it is Key West. But they're still the cock of the roost. In other words, so isn't it the privilege of being at your age, conquering the things that you've conquered, that you now run the barnyard.
Yeah. No, I run the barnyard.
Yeah, but you don't do it with your penis anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He's swinging something else
It
nowadays.
might be just you're emanating this frequency I know this from working with animals all my life. I could just communicate with an old dog, or I could just feel what the issues were. And to me, a good doctor is like that. You just go in and you just sit, and he can just pick up exactly, what we need to do. And so you get that same ability, and you don't verbalize it much anymore with people. You don't have any need to impress them, and you just kind of are emitting a frequency.
I think in there somewhere in there is this wisdom. There's wisdom, that you have now accumulated a body of knowledge that one without life experiences, can actually hold. And so that's what gives you your power, is that you've been down the road. You've stuck in your pocket all these lessons, and you've got them available to you in time of crisis, in time of challenge, and so that's why others look at you and go, he's the stud baby hoss, because he knows what's coming down, or he's survived, like the gray-haired baboon or the orange iguana survived, because all the ones that aren't that color are dead,
or they're girls.
Exactly.
or they're girls. Yeah. And that's an interesting one, Kelly. Let's spin that one out a little bit. What is the analogous allegory, a simile, parallel for females in this thing? This is what we've been going through for 38 days now, is a total male journey. Is it menopause? Is it I don't know. What is it that women face?
I think they have their own little version of like cancers and whatnot. I don't think women are. I mean, we got breast cancer, ovarian cancer. Is this what we were talking about?
Well, more in the stage of life, in other words, like when you're,
I don't think it happens with women as much, because women are not necessarily looked upon as the leader of the clan.
Well, I mean, I think there are some societies, and Cottrell, correct me if I'm wrong, where they are maternally controlled. That it's through the female lineage that the power resides.
We got power because we damn made y'all. Yeah. Without us, y'all ain't here.
Right.
But I do think that our power is when we're reproducing and raising the herd and stuff, and then as they get older,
I think when the mama, and I think you can see this in lions and bulls, when the mama's got a sense that the children are threatened, that's where you're in your most savage moment.
Mama bear.
Yeah, and then once the children move on, the role shifts to grandmother, maybe, and that role of further protection, but it's on a ring further out. I don't know.
I think that's not necessarily like United States shit. I think that's like tribal shit.
Yeah. Cottrell, what do you think about all this? I mean, did your mom get quiet? Did she quit needing to impress people? Did she quit needing to have her reputation protected, or did she stay in the game till the day she died?
Well, she had Parkinson's. She lost her mind, so
yeah, well, you got to cut that
15-year period, that kills that.
Yeah, right.
And the old women that I know, that almost all of them get goofy.
Boy, we started
I mean,
goofy.
pretty much all the old men and all the old women, you eventually, maybe this is just the first step. You start losing these physical functions like, being able to get an erection on, and then the next thing you start losing your mind, and your memory, and then you just become, you humiliate if you live long enough. Like Lloyd, just complete humiliation.
Right.
Hey. I mean, where you're just this fat blob in a wheelchair being pushed around by your grandson down the middle of the road.
I blame Tony.
Getting your teeth cleaned with a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Said Lloyd, your teeth are so dirty. We're gonna fix that.
And, you're wearing a diaper. I mean, you're incontinent. Yeah, and pretty soon, you're in a hospital bed and they're using winches to move you around.
Hey, Cottrell, here's something funny. Do you remember when we were at Barton Springs one time and you slapped me on the shoulder and you said, "Hey, Brown, look at that old fella walking across them rocks." And, I looked over there and there's an old man. He's trying to get in the water and he's walking. His feet were so tender, just tender. He goes, "Now that's what happens when you get old is your feet get really tender." Well, last weekend, Michael was down here with his daughter, Charlotte Ann. And sure enough, he started, just walking so gently across the seashells. And I said, "Yep, Cottrell can tell you what's going on right now, Michael." Here he was, this virile man for, all his life. And now he can't even take the pain of some seashells on the bottom of his feet. Happens to us all.
Yep.
Growing old ain't for the weak.
No, it ain't. It ain't. All right, Kelly, MBS.
All right, Cottrell, how's your mind today?
Good. I'm sharp.
I agree.
I've got Grandparents' Day coming up in a few minutes down at the school with my grandchildren.
Oh, fun.
And then I picked up on a new book and have made some discoveries this morning before
What's your new
get
book?
up and I do my reading.
What's your new book?
It's Thrall's History of Texas, but it was written in 1874, and so it's really you always want to go back as far as you can to the people who were making observations and writing it down.
Think about this, 1874.
And things get distorted as we go through time. Everybody comes along and then they write it a little bit different, and then pretty much you're just dealing with fantasy land and history. So, you want to go back to those original texts.
Yeah. And what do you think about the accuracy of those texts? We're currently reading a book about the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina, and the lineage that created it, George Vanderbilt and all this. And, the book is theoretically about all the newspaper articles that were written about the Biltmore Estate when the Biltmore Estate was being built. And, you just want to know, were the journalists then just as full of shit then as they are now?
They were just as full of shit then as they are now. No question about that.
No question.
And so, what you have to do is you've got to filter that data, and then you have to create your own reality. And that's what I do with history. I create my own reality based upon my own logical mind, and I read their accounts, and then I believe it 100%.
Well, therein lies exactly why there's 157 versions of the Bible. People just read it and said, "Okay, I don't buy this," and they wrote their version, and then somebody wrote their version, and then now we have the truth, and they believe it steadfastly and sit with a complete amazement that everyone else doesn't believe their bullshit. But anyway, hey. Did we get? Oh, it's called History of Texas, written in 1874. Word for the day, Cottrell.
Ooh, word for the day. You said you were going to bring one.
Huh?
You said you were going to bring word for the day.
Oh, a word for the day. Oh, Lord, I forgot.
Forgot is not going to inspire anybody.
His mind's going.
Yeah. We just took you from a 5 to a 4 on your mind.
Yeah.
He's got Grandparents' Day at the school today. He was worried about doing, his grandparent thing.
Hey, Cottrell, this has been Castration of Cowboy, episode 38 of 45, entitled Rollin. Hey, we're proud of you. Looks like you're grinding this out.
We thank you for sharing your morning with us.
And we appreciate you very much.
I can't do tomorrow. Or I can do tomorrow, but it would have to be at 7:15.
In the morning?
8:15.
That's 8:15 for us. That'll be fine.
Yeah, that works for us. Hey, but you messed up. You got at some point you got to learn to shut the hell up and let us, because we got to have sponsors. That's how we make money. Yeah, and we're gonna have an endowment that's going to be, housed by the University of Texas Longhorns Philanthropic Division, and it's gonna somehow be used to prevent prostate cancer in bulls. Okay, so
very exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But so we said that. Okay, now we're down to thank you.
I said thanks.
Okay, so it's appreciate.
We love you. We're
proud
of you.
Oh, we love you. That's right. We love you. This episode of Castration of Cowboy was brought to you by 4C Ranches, a for-profit corporation in the state of Texas, located in Dime Box.
Dime Box.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.